Hiya, how you doing? Welcome to this video. I've taken over a couple of years. It shows a beautiful walk ruined by an industrial unit, which is now just a big blot on the landscape. Lovely roundabout with an aeroplane stuck in the middle. Crash landed there. This is a low version view. Another camera down low showing the same roundabout. You can see the sun was actually shining. Well, that's my feet you can see moving. I'm sat on a park bench like an old down and out. And this is the walk I'm on towards that church. And this is a load of Grecian columns. And there was an urn there. And I asked a man passing, what's the Grecian urn? And he said about $10 a week. I suppose that's about right. The old jokes are good. This is an old, disused King George V post box set in the wall of the church. It used to be a village, a hamlet. And that's us in the churchyard. I want to show you something up on the outside of the tower. Most unusual. I did find out several reasons for why it's there, and I still don't know what's true. All I can do is tell you somebody told me these stories were true. And it's apparently, they put effigies of the great and the good. That's an old oak seat made out of an old oak tree, but there's no yellow ribbon. And apparently the stonemason was carving the effigies of the faces of the great and the good that paid for this church. When he fell off what passed for scaffold, that's me by the way, photographing stone. I mean, I lead a sad life. And he was making stone effigies and he fell off a scaffold. So the next stonemason made an effigy of him and put a hammer and a tin lead snipper up there. That's me lying down to get a good angle at it. And there it is, look. You see the wee manny in the middle, hammer to the left and tin snips to the right. And all the other faces you might see, like at the bottom of the photo and to the right or left, are photos of men and women that contributed towards building this church. Going down. Told you I took photographs of stone. What a sad life. Anyway, I'll get up in a minute. There you go. And I'll gallop back. Now come on, I'm an old guy. That's me galloping. Look, just the thought of it's making me sweat. And then I was down yesterday and it was really a miserable day, so I took a few shots, footage, but nothing that was really usable. But when I come back today, they'd changed the gate through into the fields down to where the two bridges are. And I thought, that was quick. To go from a stile, which you usually have to climb over with all my camera gear. And there's a tripod and all the rest of it. If you're into video, you know there's a lot of gear. That's my woolly hat on top of the camera, trying to keep it dry. Yes, I've got another camera. I've got an action camera that I'm using at the minute, because it's handheld and got a waterproof case. Cooey cooey! Bonnet on! Cap on camera. Yeah? That was my dulcet tones you heard. That wasn't part of this voiceover. And there's the old stile. And look, there's the new kissing gate. Oh, piece of cake now. Get through with a tripod over your shoulder and big camera bag. And now down in that group of trees is what's called the two bridge crossings. Now, it's me that calls it that because there's two bridges there crossing the rivers, which we'll look up later. But then we're going up to that motorway bridge with the yellow post sticking up. And that's my escape route across that motorway bridge. I think you can see the yellow post. It's hard work focusing on it, it's a long way. And here's the two bridge crossing, and there's the two bridges. It's good if you can count, you know, you can sort of go 1, 2, there's two bridges. But it's bonny down here and they don't get many people because it's a fair old mileage from any place of any importance. But it's really nice. And the red in the front of the shot, there's reflection in the screen or the lens of my coat because it's just the angle the sun's hitting me at. And that's where we're making from to here. I'm stood where that yellow post was. So you can see it's a fair distance. And there's that motorway bridge I told you about. See, I've done it in black and white because it looks all arty-farty. Some folk like it, some folk don't. I grew up with black and white, so I'm not bothered one way or another. That's a motorway bridge, but it's no made for traffic. It's just for farmers, cattle and photographers and dog walkers. And there's that blot on the damned landscape. All that was down there was huge water tanks and a graffiti shed. It looked like an air... That's a kissing gate I'm going through, another one. It looked like an old air raid shelter, and the local lads used to meet down there, cans of beer, funny tobacco, and used to do graffiti. But it was different every time I came over here. I used to go over about once every 6 or 8 weeks to go to a hospital here, and it was really smashing. And that's the hill, that's just where I've come up. My camera's on my back. I've got my tripod over my shoulder. And that's the view now. Beautiful big fields and a graffiti shed, I called it. It was known as the graffiti shed. And if you look down there, you'll see 2 water pipes crossing the river. And that's how I used to get to it. But because they've built all these new sheds and these new factory units, as they call them, we're not allowed. We'll see. We'll see. I'll wait till it's finished. And you can see the camera's on my back. I've got it on the tripod, but the tripod's over my shoulder. What the heck? It's just different. Makes it look like I'm walking backwards. Oh, I hate that place already, and it's not even opened yet. Look at it. What a monstrosity. I mean, we really need more traffic on the road around there, and we really do need more units. And it's a company from Aberdeen that's in charge. It's an Aberdeen investment firm. So, I wonder why I don't like Aberdeen. Sorry if you're from Aberdeen, but I don't like this investment company. They've just ruined one of my best video spots around these areas. I escaped from hospital for half a day and I come up here. And this is all I've got to look at now. I'm up on the old railway embankment, which is why I'm above the blot on the landscape. But I suppose it's finding work for a lot of people. So the graffiti shed only found summit for me and the lads that smoked the funny tobacco, I think. And they used to use it as sort of passion area. The girls couldn't have been so fussy. Because they've got written on the walls, you know, Maisie loves Dan and Dan loves Mavis and all this. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, okay, whatever. I thought we were brave as kids, just carving something like a heart in a tree and then killing the tree. And that's the road I'm going down now, the path I'm going down. It's pretty steep, so I've got to run from tree to tree. And there's the graffiti shed as it was. And look at the field to the right when you get a view of it. You'll see it in a minute. There's the shed and one that's fallen down. You can see the graffiti. This is one I did last year. And that's where the graffiti shed used to stand, and all that was lovely fields. Look at it now, the graffiti shed just stood down there to the left. Catastrophic. And that's what it looked like from the same place. Look at that. That was 12 months ago. I used to look forward to coming here. Not anymore. I know we have to march with progress, but can't they march backwards now and again? These units will sit empty for bloody years. I am so sad and scunnert. Oh dear. That's a shame. Never mind. Scunnert is just a Scottish word for fed up, just in case you think I was swearing. Anyway, this is coming up to the end, and I put in rest in peace graffiti shelter. That's your lot. It is the end. No, it is. I know it's taken a bit to get there, but the end is due now.